think I know what happened to my sister. My older sister disappeared when I was just a kid, and her case became one of those unsolved mysteries that people still talk about in our town. I vividly remember watching my parents, their faces etched with worry, doing interviews in our kitchen with reporters asking the same questions over and over. I think I finally understand what really happened to her. I was so young back then that most of my memories are fuzzy, but I know I adored her more than anything. She used to take me on bike rides around the neighborhood, me sitting in this little basket on the front, which wasn't something most teenagers wanted to do with their little brothers. In the weeks before she vanished, I remember her staying home to watch me while our parents worked. I spent most of my time in my bedroom, glued to my Game Boy Color, not really paying attention to anything else. This woman started coming over to visit, and she was definitely older, maybe around my mom's age. My sister always made me go to my room whenever the doorbell rang, and after the woman left, she would give me extra cookies or let me stay up late if I promised not to mention the visits to anyone. Being a kid who only cared about video games and snacks, I agreed without thinking twice about why it mattered. The day before everything changed, I saw something that stuck with me, even though I didn't understand it at the time. I was in the living room when the woman came over, and I looked up from my cartoons just as she leaned in and kissed my sister on the lips. They held each other for a long moment, and neither of them seemed worried that I was watching. The woman smiled and waved at me, and I waved back before turning back to my TV show like nothing unusual had happened. Later that night, I dozed off on the couch, but woke up when I heard whispering by the front door. My sister was saying something about me being asleep, and the woman's voice was too quiet to hear clearly. Then my sister said something that included the word visit, though I couldn't tell if she said visit them or visit her. The woman's voice got louder, and she said no, firmly. I caught pieces of words like plan and town before I drifted back to sleep. The next morning started like any other day, with our parents already gone to work and my sister acting strange, checking the wall clock every few minutes. Around lunchtime, she came into my room and asked if I wanted to go for a bike ride, but I was too focused on beating a level in my game and told her no. She asked again, almost pleading with me, but I shook my head without looking up from the screen. She said she needed to go next door to borrow something from our neighbor, Mary, and reminded me not to answer the door for anyone except Mom and Dad. I yelled okay because I was frustrated with my game and wanted her to leave me alone. She came over and hugged me tight, telling me she loved me before walking out. That was the last time I ever saw her. Now that I'm older, I understand what was happening between her and that woman. The memories started flooding back recently, and I can't stop thinking about how everything makes sense now. I believe my sister ran away with that woman to start a new life somewhere far from here. During my first year at community college, our debate team won a state championship, and our photo ended up in several newspapers with the school name clearly visible. A week later, a package arrived at my dorm with no return address. Inside was a box filled with candy, and I assumed my parents sent it, so I tossed the note without reading it and started eating the treats. It was all my childhood favorites: Skittles, Starburst, Reese's Pieces, and Kit Kats. When I called my dad to thank him, he said neither he nor Mom had sent anything. That's when it hit me that those were the exact candies my sister used to buy for me when she'd sneak me to the corner store after dinner. Check out the full story by clicking the link above this video's title and let me know what you think.